Hello, I'm Jay Speck, the Solano County Superintendent of Schools. I'm proud to present a brief look at our amazing career and technical education classes. CTE classes engage high school students with hands-on, project-based learning and help prepare them for college or a career. Students develop leadership skills, learn teamwork, and partner with local businesses. Career and technical education classes also teach students important employability skills such as creating resumes and job interview techniques. Research indicates that career technical education is vital to closing the achievement gap and increasing our graduation rates. Whether it's working in a lab, understanding how to run a business, or using cutting-edge technology, these students are learning the skills necessary to be ready for a career or to enroll in college.
I see now more than ever, students need to be able to come out of high school prepared to enter the workforce, maybe with some additional training at a tech school level or at a university level.
Career technical education prepares them for the workplace, it prepares them for their next step, whether they're going into higher education or into a career field.
Being in high school, you get taught academics, but you don't really know what you're up for in the real world. But when you're in a class like Virtual Enterprise, you see what it's like to be in actual business and what you will need to get a job to succeed in the field that you want.
So I can also do business manuals and marketing and catalogs and use Microsoft Publisher and web programs, and it's all because of this class. I never knew those programs before I came into this class.
The biotech class has been phenomenal for Benicia High School. It's about 90% hands-on. The labs are in-depth. They're not simple to do. The final they just finished now. Most kids in college are not doing that in a biotech program.
The lab we were doing today was a extraction of the RFP, red fluorescent protein, and all we did was cut that out and put it in a new gene for our bacteria, and our bacteria glowed red, and now we're just trying to extract the pure protein now so we can use it later on.
The whole nature of the course is to have students develop a mindset and appreciate research lab flow. Why we do research, how we do it the way we do it, why we do techniques, how one technique fits into another, and how this whole process moves forward.
They get excited. I mean, they look forward to coming to the class because it's like there's a next step for them, and it's not always there for a lot of kids.
Because I was always questioned, like, how does this stuff work? And when you're in this class actually putting things together, it was really cool being able to actually understand why this happens.
And we really try to nurture that ability for them to take it to another level beyond the high school traditional curriculum. This is stuff should be almost college or post-college type of work they can do if they're in here for 4 years.
We have the formal classroom. We have the FFA or leadership component attached to that, along with the supervised agricultural experience program, which is basically projects, many of the types of projects you would see at fairs and things. So that gives the kids the practical experience, the FFA gives the kids the leadership experience, and it all ties together with the instructional component, which is in the classroom.
In my CTE Ag Practices class, I've learned a lot of business management, and I really took an interest to it, and that's why I'm choosing to go to Chico State University and major in wine and viniculture, because I really enjoyed it, and I think that's something I want to do for the rest of my life.
My favorite thing about the class has to be the trade fairs. The trade fairs is where we go to competition and compete against a whole bunch of other schools, and we set up booths and sell and other stuff like that. That has to be the best part of the class because it teaches you how a business is actually run and how you would go about running that business.
My favorite thing about the class is the competing part. I've never been really into sports, so my favorite part is that we get to compete in competitions with marketing, advertising, and help sell our product.
With the partnerships we've had with other schools, like the local middle school, elementary schools, is we have some of our students that go mentor them on how to do basic problem solving using a robot, how to program a robot to do certain tasks.
I was teaching elementary school students how to program Lego robots, and those are just smaller robots. They're autonomously run.
When you teach it to someone else, you know it that much deeper at a much more fundamental level than just it being taught to you.
We had a field trip where we went to Solano, and the kids could take what we're doing now and make a direct connection to what they're doing. And then we went to Genentech later in the afternoon and saw it on a huge scale.
They gave us a tour of their facility, and they were creating medicines from cells. They were just putting DNA into cells so they would make this chemical as a medicine. Pretty much what we're doing in our class right now, we're just doing it on a much smaller scale.
They can see the connection of going from, okay, here's the classroom, the bells are ringing, to where it's like you're a professional and you're treated like a professional and you're making, you know, good money at a clean location and a lot of respect for the job.
Aside from the lab skills, we also, because it's a career tech pathway, we want to make sure that the kids are ready for the workforce. So what we do is we also train them in soft skills.
They need to know how to shake a hand and look people in the eye and do follow through on phone calls if they're going to be late.
Other classes that I've taken in high school focus more on curriculum and book work, whereas Virtual Enterprise showed us real world skills and how to build a resume and what's going to happen after high school.
From what I've learned as a CEO, I'm more confident about what jobs I'm going to take, what my future is going to be, and that has definitely has to be my favorite part of the class.
The class has helped me with my communication skills, and before I would never have been able to take charge in front of people or even speak in front of people.
We have several speakers coming to our classroom, and the reason why we want these guest speakers to come in is for these kids to have a vision of what they want to be.
If a scientist from bio-rad can go to a classroom and talk about what they do and how it relates to maybe a classroom activity they're doing, or vice versa, having students come here on site and see a company in action and visit our manufacturing sites is, just gives them a connection to that.
We partnered to bring, it's actually a workbook that's provided, and it talks about basic budgeting, what a checking account is all about, how to not get into debt with credit cards that they can't afford. So it really is a very hands-on interaction between the credit union and the faculty and the students who are participating in the program.
If businesses in the area can get into a high school and help teach and develop a relationship with a student, it's possible to help nurture that relationship and create a potential employee.
From just taking robotics here, I've learned that my main area of focus, I want it to be electronics, and I want to study electrical engineering and take that, what I've learned here, and use it to build things for the future, like new smartphones, new electric cars, stuff like that that's going to be commonplace in the future, hopefully.
A lot of students, they don't necessarily know what career path they want to take. And when business comes in and visits students, whether it's a career panel or even its tours, the business helps to, potentially create a pool of employees for their own place of work, of course. And I think it's important for business to communicate with educators if there are certain trends in the industry, where are things going? What skills do you need students to have?
I think it's really important for kids as they are learning to understand the practical skills that they will need and to have role models and mentors. And so we spend a lot of time trying to make sure that we are helping develop students because they really are our future. And I think there's a great partnership between education and business to be able to bring the necessary skills to the classroom.
We've now seen how career and technical education classes engage students with hands-on, project-based learning that connects them to the community. These students are excited about the opportunities that await them as they prepare for a career or college. If you are interested in becoming a partner with career and technical education, I encourage you to contact the Solano County Office of Education. Together, we can continue to bring relevance to classroom learning, increase our graduation rates, and inspire our future leaders.